You guys, the dirt is back. And we are not only back, but we're back with Thunderstash Gaming, who's gone hands-on with Mario Kart World. Let's hit the intro. Thunderstash Gaming, what is up? What's up? You excited to talk Mario Kart or what?
Yeah, I'm super excited to talk Mario Kart. Ever since I left the Switch 2 experience in New York, I haven't been able to stop thinking about Switch 2 in general, but the one game I really is top of mind has been Mario Kart. So yeah, I'm totally ready. There's so much to talk about, so much positive for sure.
So the way the show's going to work, you guys, is we're going to talk all the hands-on that Stash did with Mario Kart World. And then we're going to give our predictions for the upcoming Mario Kart World Direct, which is happening later this week. And I will preface that with, I think we have literally seen the tiniest tip of the iceberg when it comes to this game. And the way videos keep popping up, I don't know if you saw Paul's video, Paul Gale Network, the blue shell hitting the water and then causing that ripple effect. Yeah. Like just someone else, I don't remember who it was. I reposted a video of Peach like checking her nails like while she's driving, like to see if she like scratched a nail or anything.
Oh my God, I didn't see that. That's crazy.
It's amazing. I just posted it earlier today. It's just there's, and then somebody else was out on the water and got inside the boat, similar to how Yoshi or Birdo got in the back of the semi truck.
I did see that.
And if you noticed in one of the trailers or the opening sequence of the direct, there's a helicopter off in the distance. And so it makes me wonder if we're going to be able to go air, ground, and sea with these giant vehicles. And then what's the purpose of that? Is there, when you watch the Treehouse event and you see Donkey Kong throwing barrels down, and he looks similar to how the boat looked on that water, I think we're looking at some big time single player, but we'll speculate on all that stuff at the second half. We're watching right now. If you guys are watching this on YouTube, you're seeing footage of Stash racing as Mario, Cowboy Mario, nonetheless, in what looks like the new standard kart. And just right off the bat, like, how does this game feel compared to Mario Kart 8 Deluxe?
Yeah, so let me just preface it. I love Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. Bought it day one on Wii U. Played it to death. Bought it day one on Switch. Absolutely love the game. I think it's the best Mario Kart ever by far. And after playing this, I think that's going to change, right? Like, I think Mario Kart World will certainly surpass it. As far as everything, so the looks, visuals, the colors are insane. In person, the HDR truly pops off. And when you see it in person, you'll know exactly, again, what I'm talking about. Frame rate, no issues. Performance was excellent. I love that the courses, the tracks are wider. Like, you really feel like you have a lot of space to navigate, which I really appreciated that. That was cool because obviously we have so many more carts, right, on screen. And so that was a huge help. It never felt congested. I know that was a concern, right, of a lot of people, is in that I hope that the tracks are wide enough to compensate for all the extra racers. And it did not feel congested at all.
You know where my head goes when I think about the size of these tracks? I mentioned it on stream the other day. Is 200cc, maybe a 300cc, right? Because Mario Kart 8 was not designed for 200cc. That's why you had to hit your brakes. That's why, that's why a few of the tracks. And the moment I saw the very first little snippet of this game, the 27 seconds that they showed us when they announced Switch 2, I was like, the tracks are huge. 24 racers, of course, you got to have bigger tracks. The carts look smaller. Either the tracks look bigger, the carts look smaller. However you want to look at it. Almost gives me some Micro Machine vibes, if you remember.
Yeah, great game. Code Masters, right?
Oh yeah, back in the day, right?
Yeah.
But I was talking about it on stream, and I'm like, this leaves the opportunity. Also, you're doing 100cc right now. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah, I believe so.
And you're flying, right?
Yeah.
Like it looks like you're moving. So I have a feeling 150 is going to be screaming, and 200, and then the potential for even higher because of the size of these tracks.
Yeah,
bro, I'm frothing at the mouth here. I cannot wait. And just watching, like really getting to watch what you just did right there. Yo. And I saw some of your comments in your videos that were like, finally somebody that knows how to drift in Mario Kart.
Right. I know. I had watched a lot of videos too, and I don't know. I'm not here to judge people's play style, especially when it's your first time playing, but I'm glad I could appease everyone with the drifting, I guess you could say. But yeah, I'm super excited. Again, like 100cc to your point, it felt like a really good speed, which was great to see because I like it when it's screaming. So the fact that 100 felt that way was really cool. Um, if we factor in what we've heard about playing the game at 120 frames per second.
Yo.
Yeah, exactly.
Don't play with my heart. Don't play with my heart.
And it's like, I don't see why we wouldn't, right? Metroid's running that. That's what I played at the show. So obviously it's capable of that. All of the tracks were just so cool. Like Boo Cinema right here. This is a track that the Nintendo rep actually suggested playing. He's like, if you want to know a good one that like nobody's playing, but I played it. And he said, do Boo Cinema. I was like, okay, yeah, done. Like when I go out to eat, I always ask the server, well, what do you order? Right.
Sure.
What do you order that's not on the menu? And I felt like that was his way of saying, this is what you need to do if you want to see the coolest part. Right. So I'm like, yeah, done. I do it. And you'll see that, but you can drive through the actual movie screen.
No way.
Yeah. And the way you do it is just it's like you fly through it. So you hit a ramp and then you coast through it as you're flying. And like the movie screen, like just like kind of goes transparent, kind of like the Boo does, right? The actual enemy.
Yes.
And it's so cool. Like the effect of it is awesome. And again, seeing it in person with like just the lighting and some of the particle effects, it just looks insane. It's like, man, this is really cool. Like this feels like a proper course for the character Boo. This feels like almost like a Halloween course in a sense. Like
Yeah, I'm getting
these
like Twisted Mansion vibes from it.
Yeah, exactly. And again, like playing this in person, you can see some like the volumetric fog, and you can see like the glow around the ghost looks very good. Like when it's running, of course at 60 FPS, looks just phenomenal. But very very cool course. All of the courses though I played, and all of the ones that I've seen, and I'm sure you've seen footage of, really cool. I feel like they're designed for power sliders. Like if you love power sliding, that's where it's at.
What I loved right there is that was a throwback to the ghost house in the very first Super Mario Kart. Like there's some details in here that like maybe some people wouldn't maybe they wouldn't notice it, but like, Mario Kart 64 has got the Banshee boardwalk, right?
Yeah.
It's got, you're driving on the dock.
Here's that
essentially.
If you sorry to interrupt, but if you guys
Mm,
see that, like right
y-
there, Josh, it's so cool where you go through the screen.
it looks like you're in the movie.
Yeah, exactly.
Like it looks like all like noir and like and you're on film. You're driving on
Oh
film.
yeah. So here it is. Here's where you go through the screen right here. And like you could see like there's a left, you can go left or you can go right.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, oh my God. It's like you're going through a film, like a movie theater now. Now there's the red carpet. I was
Mm-hmm.
like, dude, this is sick.
What? Yeah. I'm like, I am so glad that 8 Deluxe did as well and has done as well because they have had so much time to let this game cook. Like so much time to let it cook. Like just incredible. And so that bro, driving on the film with Peach with her hands up, like looking like Kevin from Home Alone,
Yeah.
like just so cool. Like you were on so many different styles of track, from
Yeah.
concrete to carpet to film, like to the
It,
dock. It's
yeah,
just amazing.
it's wild. Yeah. And there's just so much variety. And we haven't even talked about like the grinding on the rails and how much fun that is and how much strategy there is in it. Like for example, I'm super excited for the free roam mode, right? Because I'm going to be able to go look for all those secrets and all those strategic areas where I'm like, "Oh, you know what? I didn't realize that on this, corner I could probably grind on the rail and that will bring me over to this rail, which will in turn be a huge shortcut and a turbo boost, right?" Because there were so many things I saw like while I was playing. I'm like, oh, I could do this, I could do that. Um,
So can you kind of break it down for me a little bit? Like you're coming up on a corner, you drift, you hit your boost, okay? And you were talking in the episode of the Nintendo Powercast about like a train track,
yeah,
right? Where you could kind of bounce between the tracks. So in Mario Kart, we're used to, power slide, like drift, you get your turbo, your super mini turbo, and your ultra mini turbo, right? Up to the pink or purple flames.
yep,
What's happening when you grind? Like, it looks like are you going, does grinding make you go faster? Because I'm thinking time trials wise, like, is it going to be better to keep that inside line, or is it going to be better to hit a rail that's a little ways on the outside, or
mhm,
potentially, obviously, the rail is the ultimate inside line? But you kind of get what I'm saying, right?
I
Do
do.
you feel like you're getting a boost, and then it looks like you're trick boosting off of the rail anyway, which is then going to
Yeah,
give you another little boost. And then in the one scene that we saw, they were grinding and then trick boosted, and then they were driving on the side of the wall,
yep,
which is
yeah.
like anti-grav almost. So that would, but
So I saw that in the treehouse too, where they grinded on the wall, and I'm like, was that supposed to happen? Because I didn't
mm,
see anyone do it. No one did that. I didn't do it. No, I didn't see it anywhere, but I saw that. I'm like, huh, interesting. That would be really cool. I mean, it
yeah,
seems like what are the odds that that happened by accident on stream?
right. Well,
So you probably can.
They showed it in the direct even.
Oh, good.
Like they showed it in the direct where it's the Donkey Kong level, and I think it's Peach in like a bullet bill style cart, and it's a grind to another grind to a flip jump to the side of the wall, and then flip off that wall, and then the wings came out,
Okay.
and I'm pretty sure it was like something like that. And so what I'm just curious about is like what is this going to mean for time trials? You know, and like finding those fastest, like finding that fastest line. Like there's instances in Super Mario or in Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, like um Mario Circuit. For time trials, it's faster to burn 2 mushrooms at the beginning so that you're ahead of all the piranha plants coming out, so
Mm,
that you can keep the tightest line without getting bit, than to say only use the mushroom at a certain shortcut every time. And
right.
so the strategy that's going to come into this game has me so intrigued because like you've also now you've opened up the potential for a skill gap, which makes me nervous when it comes to Nintendo games because when some people master it really quick and then some people um, don't take the time or just play more casually, it starts to make like the online more difficult for people to win,
Yeah,
right? And so um, I do feel like Nintendo will probably do some good matchmaking so that it's not quite. But
I would think
I'm
so. Yeah.
I'm ready to sweat in this game. You know what I mean? So
Yeah. So I think as far as the grinding, without really like writing it out and trying to like figure out equations here,
sure.
I feel like that's probably going to be the best move, but you need to also come off the railing at the right angle. I think there was a time I came off a railing and power slide it right off the railing, like went right into power sliding.
Okay.
And so like if you can do stuff like that, obviously it's an even bigger benefit. So like there's just layers of strategy. I paused the video here just because I want to show you the beginning of the knockout mode and show the viewers because again, I just think this is so cool. And going into the knockout tour mode, we didn't practice, right? Just hand you a controller, you're competing against everybody, the other 23 people in the room. So I'm like, okay, whatever. And seeing the intro, I'm like, this is so cool. So playing it here, but you'll see that you shoot out of here and you literally fly into the tour, which is
Oh,
just so
amazing.
yeah. And you're jockeying. Like I think there's a point where I ram into another cart right there and you can
Mm,
boost off of it
okay.
if you
So
hit
similar to
anybody.
anti-grav in last game. Okay. Love
Yeah,
that.
and I'm like, "This is so freaking cool."
It's like where
Uh,
we dropping, boys, you know? Like Fortnite.
yeah, no, exactly. And again, this mode itself, I just thought was an absolute game changer. There's
And
24
this is
racers.
knockout tour, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
so 24 racers, and each time, essentially, you hit a lap or a checkpoint, you have to finish in the top percentage. So for the first one, it says on the bottom right there, be 20th or better. After you pass that, then it's 16th or better, 12th, 8th, and then 4th. Then it's the final four. And each one is like a section of the game. You guys can see the weather effects there. There was lightning going on in the background. It's so cool.
So when
Just
lightning hits in game, like somebody uses the shock, it causes rain clouds to open up.
yeah,
Love it.
insane. So it's just so awesome. But this mode was intense for anyone who loves to compete, right? This is awesome. You guys can see the colors on the screen. It looks like tie-dye on the corners. It does that every time you're hitting a new checkpoint. So as you cross through that, you have to be at that point it was 20th or better. So now we're in the second phase where I have to be in 16th place or better. And if you're not, right, then it's game over. And you just have to sit there and wait until the race is finished. But my God, let me tell you, it was so intense. So again, for people who love to compete at Mario Kart, this was like ultra competitive and just so much fun because the stakes are high. Like, you have to be in good standing the whole time. And you can't be chilling in the back the whole time, getting all the best items. Like you have to be in that top percentage in order to even be able to proceed. Which, it almost reminds me of games growing up, Josh.
Okay.
Like NES, like playing Rad Racer, right?
Oh yeah, yeah.
Like you have to finish in like the top time in order for the race to continue. And it's kind of like that, except, it's Mario Kart and you're competing and it's not just about the time, it's about other things like everything
Bro,
else
what
in
I
Mario
am
Kart.
seeing on this screen right now is everything I've always wanted from a Mario Kart. Like, don't get deluxe is incredible, right?
Yeah.
Like I mean 1300 hours in deluxe, like I love it. But like there's so many particle effects going on. There's like this is the Mario Kart that like I have dreamed about. Like I have dreamed about. And the thing I was talking with somebody on I don't know if it was on X or in my comments section for some videos, but like the art style looks like the box art for Super Mario
S
Kart.
on Super Nintendo, right?
Yes, and
100%, I thought the same thing.
Wonder did the same thing, right? Mario Wonder did the same thing. Looks like the box art for Super Mario Brothers 2 and 3 and like I am so here for the fact that we're going to be playing games that essentially look like the box art that we grew up with. Like how crazy is this?
It is, it's wild. The art style is absolutely beautiful, it's stunning. It it's just special, like, I could say, like, yeah, it looks like a cartoon, right? Like, they perfected the cartoon art style, but
Mm,
it's more than that. Like, it's
yeah.
beautiful. You look up at the clouds, they look like real clouds.
It's like this mix of it's like Pixar almost.
Yeah, yeah, that's a good way that is a really good way of explaining it is like that, which is special because it's
Like we're playing
Nintendo.
cars essentially, but with Mario Kart.
Yeah, I definitely see some, like, car vibes there too.
Mhm.
But man, this mode is just chaos in the best way possible because it's controlled chaos, and that's what's important. Everything about Mario Kart still remains the same. You're still power sliding. It feels balanced, which was a big deal, that we all kind of talked about is that I hope with all these racers that it'll be balanced and that it won't feel like absolute chaos, and it doesn't. It feels perfect, which is like how Mario Kart 8 Deluxe I think felt like after especially after all the patches they did, all the post-release patches, constantly updating the game. It felt super refined, just like Sakurai with Smash Brothers. That game was so balanced.
You're in the costume.
Yeah, there it is. There's the Famicom
You
from
are
the Dirt
in
Rally game, right?
yes, you are in the Famicom race suit with the hat on backwards from like I mean, you can wear it in Odyssey. That I mean, I hope that that's a costume that like stays unlocked because I that's gonna be my main setup.
I hope so too. There's again, if you pick up food on the track, your appearance changes, and I don't know if it does anything else. I have no idea. Obviously, if there's any sort of stat boost, no clue. Like there could be stat boosts tied to it. There could be, hey, if you're wearing this suit, like this item appears more often. There could be a variety of things that it actually does, but we won't know, of course, until we get our hands on the final version, or maybe even at the Mario Kart Direct on Thursday, we'll hear something about that. You'd think maybe we would since it's such a new feature, and they featured it in the original teaser trailer over at the Yoshi restaurant or cafe. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, yeah, yeah.
so you'd think it was something significant, right? And then, yeah, you got this where you turn into a giant right there, which was really cool.
The mega mushroom, I love it. So, you know what I'm thinking about this mode
Huh.
is I would love it because it looks like the person next to you is just observing right now or just spectating because they lost, I
Yeah, yeah,
think.
she did.
And so what I feel like they should maybe do is I've already seen some on the track like some bombs driving.
Yeah.
Go like in 64 in multiplayer in the battle mode. When
Yep.
you are out, you become a bomb and you get one chance to knock somebody out or do something to essentially like hinder the other players still, even though you can't win. Like,
That'd be cool.
uh, I'm hoping they might do something like just so that you're not just sit because if you're out on the first lap, it's like you just got to sit and spectate at that point. I guess it means get good, son. Right? But
It does, but I think it would be cool because let's say hypothetically it's the third race and you and somebody else have been going back and forth and you guys are neck and neck for points, right? And you get knocked out. If I get to turn into a bomb, I am gunning for you.
oh,
I am,
absolutely.
like that's just such cool strategy. It's like I am going to try my hardest to try and knock you out because even though I'm out, if I can get you out, then maybe I can still maintain, the lead in first place for overall points. So that would be very cool.
Bro, it looks like you are playing the Mario movie right now.
Yeah.
Like, it looks like Donkey Kong, like the section of Donkey Kong from the movie. Like that, this is blowing my mind.
And you
Like,
see power sliding here, how like I was saying about the course design.
yes.
And then you can see I'm gonna grind in a second right here.
Oh, amazing.
And then we get another, I think, power slide in there. And then there's a section where you're boosting through the clouds coming up right here. And you actually have to hit the boost here. It's right here as you're going through those rings. If you
Yeah.
time it right, you can see me hitting the button.
Yeah, yeah. Getting some trick boosts.
Yeah. You also get a turbo right there. So
That's
it's really
awesome. And you
cool.
you
Like you
took
don't just
first
get it.
place. I love it.
Yeah, thanks. It was very fun. It was intense. Such
Eh,
a good time. Like I could play that mode all day, Josh. I'm sure you could too.
Oh, it's my community is already talking about it. Like, and the fact that we can do 24 players is just like it's so great. That's just going to be such a great mode. I cannot wait. But I mean, let's talk about the water. When you hit the water, did it just immediately take you back to Wave Race?
It did. It did in the best way possible. And I know but for the audience, I love Wave Race. I loved it since 64. Bought it when it came out. Bought Blue Storm. I'm a realist. I know the odds of ever getting a Wave Race are slim to none. They're a tad better than Earthbound. But the water in this game gave me those vibes, and it almost gave me that fix I needed for
Mm,
Wave Race
yes.
because it felt so good. The waves felt accurate, and that's important. Like
I'm so
it,
excited to not go under the water, but to stay
so am I.
on top because I mean, if you grew up with Wave Race or I brought up Hydro Thunder in
Yeah, I
my
love Hydro Thunder.
in my chat the other day, and I was just like, even Diddy Kong Racing, right? Like Diddy Kong Racing having the boats in that game or the hovercraft, like it was just such a nice change of pace. Like I'm so curious what battle mode is going to be like in this game. 24 players, like
That's the thing is that you touched on it before about obviously racing on land. Now you're cruising on the water. We're flying in the levels. What else is there? Is there more? It feels like we're hitting everything,
right.
which is really cool. That the whole game's opening up like that now.
Well, and I wonder if there's going to be levels that are just like that focus more on flying, or if there's going to be, uh, like a like dogfighting, if you will, in the battle mode, right, where you're like doing strafing runs, if you will. Like
Yeah,
I'm just so curious.
right. I wonder too. I feel like there's just so much we're going to learn on Thursday at the direct about Mario Kart that we haven't seen yet. And it did it did give me like Diddy Kong racing vibes in the best way possible. And I love that game. I think a lot of people probably adore that game. And we've always wished we'd get a new one.
Right.
And again, we know we're probably never gonna happen. But hey, the fact that this feels like it's taking a lot of the really cool elements from Diddy Kong Racing and applying it to Mario Kart, I think it's probably better because these are all characters we really care about too.
No doubt. Yeah, no doubt. I cannot get over everything that was happening on screen. Like I needed to watch you play it, honestly. Like I'm serious because it a lot of the gameplay that I've seen feels like a lot of very casual people are playing it, right? And I don't mean that in any negative way whatsoever, but because of that, I'm like, well, what like what's possible here? Nobody seems like they're moving fast. Like nobody seems like they're stringing their mini turbos together and trying to hit those inside lines and like watching you right there, it was like, oh no, it's on sweat mode right here. Keep in mind, 100cc with assist on, and still hitting some shortcuts with the mushrooms. I saw like if this game is going this fast at 100cc, I cannot wait to see what the other CCs are like. Like it's and I mean, I get it. I have people in my community that have to use the assist still. They're like, I always use the assist. I don't want to fall off the track. It's not fun.
Yeah.
And so I totally understand, but like, man, that footage right there, especially seeing because I've been wanting to race Mario in that Famicom suit since I dressed him in that outfit in Odyssey.
Yeah.
Yo, like man, my hype levels are through the roof. Is there anything else that you want to mention about Mario Kart World before we jump into kind of our predictions about the direct and what we think might be happening?
You know, anything else? I would just say that again, based on what I played, I've never been this hyped for Mario Kart.
Yeah.
I never have. I was there on day one with Mario Kart 64. And we grew up on Mario Kart on SNES. I was there for Double Dash, Super Circuit, everything, man. I was there for all of them. And I'm always there day one. I love Mario Kart, just like you do and many other people that just love Mario Kart. But after playing this again, I just like can't stop thinking about how much I want to play it. And then knowing that there's way more to this than what we've seen, which is super exciting, right?
Yeah.
And I just know we're going to find out so much at the direct, right? Like I know for a fact that we are just 100%. There's going to be some really cool stuff there. So a lot of things to be excited about. I don't know if there's anything super specific. There's just so much, right? There's just so much to talk about.
There is. I mean, we don't know the exact frame rate and everything that you were playing at right now. There's assumptions that it's going to hit 120,
Yeah.
right? But I mean, from the looks of things, it was just absolutely buttery smooth.
Oh, silky smooth, in handheld or docked, just brilliant, amazing. Feels great. No drop off from docked TV. Again, just it felt exactly the same, which is what you want, right? You don't want to have like a lesser performing mode in handheld, and that surely was not the case. And the screen looks so good in person.
Mm,
Looks amazing. The HDR again, colors just pop off the screen, and it's hard to tell unless you're like viewing it on HDR.
sure. Yeah,
But
you can
man,
kind of see, you can tell that it's like a great picture,
yeah,
but then it doesn't come through the camera the
yeah,
way that you can the way like the colors kind of start to like almost wash out in a way, like the way the flames are looking, like they're like hot spots, like it's overexposed. You know what I mean?
Exactly, and in person and that's how I would explain it too, like, some of it looks washed out, but, like, my raw footage looks insane, and then in person, it looks absolutely insane, so just I would say that because if you think that it looks washed out, trust me, I give you my word, it is not washed out, it looks amazing. So, I did get some gameplay with the cow in handheld mode. 'Cause, you gotta try out the cow. It's the
Of
fact
course.
that the cow from was it Moo Moo Meadows?
Oh yeah. Yep.
I was just like, "What? You gotta try this out. This is so funny." It just makes me wonder too, like, what are we gonna get here? How many characters are we getting? And we haven't even stepped outside of the typical Mario Kart universe yet. Like, what's this gonna look like? Is it Josh, like, I keep wondering if it's gonna be what I've discussed before. You and I have discussed this on your podcast, on my podcast, and it's obviously about extending that racing invitation, so to speak, out to some of the other IPs as
Yes.
Nintendo did with Deluxe and the DLC, but to an even greater level. And maybe
Yeah.
that's part of why it's costing this much, right?
Hmm. Oh, I mean, I don't want to get too much into the cost because it's like it's just it's a whole thing.
Yeah.
It's a whole thing. The rumors are that this is the most expensive game Nintendo has ever developed. And, based on the time, like if you think about games like GTA 6 and stuff like that, like you're talking about years and years and years that have gone into this development. And it looks like it. Like
Yeah.
it looks like it. And it looks like it is completely set up. The fact that they're calling it Mario Kart World, that's a huge hint
I
at
think so
what
too.
is happening here. It's like we know Zelda IP can make it into Mario Kart. We know Animal Crossing. We know F-Zero. Star Fox is ready. You know what I mean? Kirby, Samus, like there's nothing I want more than to see Samus in a version of her ship as a cart with her knees way up because she doesn't fit very well, kind of like Master Chief in Fortnite and his warthog. Like I can't wait to see how far they take this game. And I hope one of the things we learn is that there's going to be a year or two of support for this game. That like even at that $80 price tag, there's going to be continual DLC, for the next 2 years or something. And then
Yeah.
maybe after that there's a season pass or but maybe that isn't the case. Maybe there's going to be a season pass right off the I don't know about season pass, but like how like a fighter pass where like but here's the thing. Here's the thing. They know based on Mario Kart 8 Deluxe that any expansion that they do, they can't keep from the community because it separates us.
Yeah.
So the
It's a really good
tracks
point.
are going to be available to everybody, at least online. And then you may not have access to all the new characters that are going to be coming out.
That's a really
I
good
just
point.
I just hope they don't take any like real predatory
I hope
stances
not.
with this series, right? Because it's that fine line of like I want as much Mario Kart for as long as possible. And even if I have to pay more money, that's fine. They're developing more things. Like I get it.
Yeah.
Um
We're paying
and if
into it.
and if they do a battle pass, let's say, I want it to be similar to like Fortnite in the fact that like you could earn the next battle pass if you don't spend any of your points. And then uh two, I want it to be like Halo where it's like the battle passes are always available so you're not left with FOMO and not able to go back and get some of the stuff. If they even go that route. Like the only reason and I don't look, I'm I mentioned battle passes because I really love having stuff to continually grind.
Yeah, me too.
right? That being said, if they did a free version like they do with Splatoon, where it's like they basically have a season and you unlock stuff just from playing, that's still a carrot on the stick. Like that's really what I'm after at the end of the day. So
I'd like to see that too. I would. Like, I'm game for it. Mario Kart's a series that I'd gladly throw down on that for sure to get more content. And again, yeah, just like with the title, Mario Kart World, the colors of the letters are like pretty much the same colors as Super Mario World box art.
yeah.
And it makes me feel like we're going to be going to other worlds.
Mhm.
I really believe that like what we've seen, that map we've seen is one world and there's other worlds we're going to.
Yeah.
And that's when everyone's going to be like, are you kidding me?
Right.
This isn't the whole thing. There's more. Where else are we going? And that's going to be the big draw. And that's why this is a launch title, because you need a long time to build that out and to let all of that unfold and then cook for a little bit. But we've talked about it. This is an evergreen title.
Mhm.
And I think it would be in Nintendo's best interest to make Mario Kart the driver for other IP, meaning like it's going to literally be a playable advertisement for other games. It'll
Yeah.
help introduce you to other characters. Like, oh, you haven't played, Metroid, or you haven't played Xenoblade or Fire Emblem.
Yep.
Uh, well, we have this cup that's based on them, and then people are going to be like, oh, aren't they in Smash Brothers also? Oh
Mhm.
yeah, you know what? I should play those games. Like I should check that out. It's literally free advertising for the other games, and it's also content, right? So it's free advertising in the form of content. And in order to do that, you have to get Mario Kart out at launch to start rolling these out, because you want to put those cups in there when new games are getting ready to come out. Like if, say,
Real quick, can you just cut back on that
yeah.
last bit of footage because you green shelled somebody at the
Oh, you like that
last
end?
possible second?
Oh yeah, dude. This was
That that was so clutch.
thanks, man. Yeah, I felt pretty good about that because you know how it is with the green shell.
Oh, you get yeah.
You get
It ruins friendships, no question. But you're in second place right now at the finish line. Yo, you ruined Pauline's day right there.
Yeah, I was so happy. It was great.
That was
You see,
amazing.
I
But
was
yeah,
smiling. I was real hype about getting that green shell at the end.
oh, I bet. Like, but yeah, no, I totally hear you. Like using Mario Kart to spread the word about other IP is fantastic. And so as far as the direct goes, I'm gonna go out on a limb here and I'm gonna say we've only seen half the tracks that are launching with this game.
Yeah, I think that's a really good prediction. I think it's for me. I think that's realistic. Some people might say it's not, right? Uh, but based on what we've seen, how many tracks have we seen? Was it 28 or 32
I
that
think
people have counted?
it's I think based on what people are counting, yeah, it's around well, I think what's interesting is like Rainbow Road doesn't appear on every map that we've seen, but it appears on some. So um
Yeah,
we
interesting.
we don't really know there, but I like and I'm not saying that like the game maybe it launches with this, but I have a feeling it's double the amount from the initial $80 price by the time it's all said and done before they start moving into paid stuff.
Okay. Yeah.
That's kind of where I'm like I think they will drip feed. I I hope they do because think about Smash and like
Fighter,
every
yeah,
time
the
there was
fighter's
a new
fast, man.
yeah, every time there was a new fighter, everybody went crazy. If we
Yeah.
know going into one or two directs a year that we're going to get information about the new content for Mario Kart World, it's going to go and they know that Mario Kart will sell. They never stop marketing this game. It's on new t-shirts every week at different retailers, it
Yeah.
seems like. You know, they do McDonald's toys with it. Like, they never stop marketing Mario Kart.
You know it's gonna be in the movie.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. And I mean, do you know what I would love for them to do?
Yeah.
Put a QR code at the beginning of the movie that gives me, like, Mario from the movie to use in game.
Yeah. Totally. I think that'd be great.
Something, or scan your movie ticket, something along those you know, like,
Or get a decal for your cart. You can slap a
something.
sticker on your cart that's from the
Yes.
movie
Yeah, you
because
gotta
that's a thing.
scan it with your app, like the Nintendo app, right? And then
Yeah.
so you can put decals on the carts?
Yeah.
Interesting. So there's some customization in that right there.
And you earn the decals by, like, getting, from what I've gathered, in-game achievements.
Mm, okay.
Uh, you play Gran Turismo on,
No,
PS5?
no, I'm more of a Forza. I
Yeah.
don't play a lot of PlayStation stuff. I have nothing against it. I just
Yeah. I haven't played it a ton. I've played it enough to, know what it's about and have a great grasp of it, but, that is a very much a ongoing, like, evergreen title for Sony, and they have, like, different missions that they'll drop, and they come in the form of, like, menus, and it'll tell you different things you gotta do and, different races to go to, and you have to finish, uh, in this place, and if you do, you get this many credits, and you can only use, like, this type of vehicle. That's always a big one, is that you can only use certain types of vehicles based on the missions. And I was just kind of thinking, like, there's definitely some things from Gran Turismo that I could see Mario Kart employing, Nintendo employing it in their own, of course, manner. That would be really beneficial just to the long term success of the game and to keep players active and busy and having fun and earning stuff. And for instance, like, you could do like this set of missions, and if you do it, you get a special decal or you get a special outfit. And the only
yeah.
way you get that is if you do these, and they might be limited because that's how it is in Gran Turismo, and that some of these are limited time only. So someone might have a vehicle in the game that there's no way for you to get it if you start it today because it was a timed mission that was for, maybe a month, a couple of years
Mm,
ago. So,
yeah.
I wonder, like, stuff like that. There's so many avenues this can go because I think this time around, and you and I have talked about this again, and that I think Nintendo really stumbled upon something special with Mario Kart 8 Deluxe because it turned into an evergreen title. I don't think that was the game plan from day one,
Oh, no.
but it was so successful that it's like, how about we just add more tracks to appease, like, all of the hardcore, right, that bought this game on Wii U, and they've waited how many years for a new Mario Kart? So what if
Mhm.
we just add on to that, since we already have the install base and we have the other team, half the team work on, of course, this new Mario Kart. So I just feel like they have so many plans laid out for this long-term evergreen execution of Mario Kart. And again, like, I just think they stumbled upon it. That was not the game plan, but now that it is, how are you going to address it? How are you going to max this out?
Yeah.
And you got to imagine they're going to try and max this out, right? Like, we'll probably have a cup. Who knows? We might have a cup based on the Mario movie too, that comes out alongside the movie.
Right.
We could have a cup that is based on The Legend of Zelda that comes out next year alongside the movie, right? And for the 40th anniversary. Heck, we could
Mhm.
have a 40th anniversary of Mario Cup that's like a cup based on
Yo,
old
if it's
school
all,
Mario
like,
games.
8-bit looking and,
Yeah,
like,
the options
the
are endless, I feel like.
oh my god, bro. Like
That would be really cool because a lot of people could take part in that celebration because,
mhm.
this is, I think you saw the numbers in some regions. 70% of Switch 2 consoles are going to be the Mario Kart bundle.
Oh wow.
So like this is going to be in a lot of hands.
Yeah.
Like this is going to, get to like probably, I would say Wii Sports level, but they said it's a limited time.
Right.
So who
Yeah.
knows how
Until
that will
every
go?
Christmas comes out.
Yeah, because we know it'll happen because that's what
Yeah.
they do every time. That's the cash cow. But again, it just goes back to saying that like this is the driver for what they're doing in so many ways, probably even more ways that I'm not even thinking of that we're not. But it's like this is the plans for this are massive, in my
Hmm.
opinion.
Yeah.
Do you expect a story mode?
I do.
Yeah, I do too.
I expect that this at this direct we're gonna find out about story mode. We're gonna find out about classic Grand Prix. That's 3 laps per track,
Yeah.
and just like we're used to. We're gonna find out about the rolling start, running through the levels, um, Grand Prix, or whatever they end up, whatever they end up calling it. I think we're gonna learn about time trials. Um, I'm not sure about cart customization. There's been some things said that make it seem like there might be, and that this build doesn't have it, but like, is it more than just the decals and stuff? I don't know. What do you know? Was there anything about stats in the like? Could you hit the plus button and show
Yes.
any kind of stats?
Yes, I did.
So
And I did in the when I was selecting my cart. I
so
definitely did.
do you feel like you picked the fastest one? I mean, I know that to look at 80 characters, like,
Yeah, that's the thing is that there's so much to look at and it's all timed. So I wanted to make sure I just kind of did things. That's why I
yeah,
was
I
like,
get you.
you know what, I'm just gonna go with the standard card. At least I know like kind of what I'm getting without doing a, full on Excel sheet breakdown of the stats.
Yeah.
So I just went with my standard cart. Uh, but yeah, you could definitely look at the stats. That was the first thing I did is press the plus button to make sure you could still do that. So I do wonder too if like maybe in the story mode there's something there where there's collectibles that you get. Maybe there's some sort of currency you collect and you can use that to like go to a shop and unlock parts, unlock other things like again like maybe outfits. I think there's a lot planned. I think there's a reason why there's a free roam mode because it's a mode that feeds into a bigger mode, which would be the story mode.
Yeah.
But all we're seeing right now is free roam. But like that that whole system's built for a reason because it's part of the story mode. It's just nobody knows that yet, except for you know people like us who can probably have a good idea of predicting what Nintendo is going to probably do next year.
Well, and so I'm thinking way outside the box right now, right? We've seen some crazy things where there's like a boat in the water that you can drive into, and then you're in that boat, and
Yeah.
it's large. What is that for? There's a semi truck that you see. You see, I think it's a Birdo or a Yoshi drive into the back of, and then in the background there's a helicopter, right? In the one of the scenes that you can see Toadette kind of driving on, and what if free roam is, or what if there's an option that's like almost like Dead by Daylight, where it's like somebody is like similar to like the imposter Bowser in Kaboom Squad in Mario Party, and you're trying to run over the other carts while everyone else is trying to maybe attack with items.
Oh, that'd
You,
be
you,
interesting. That'd
right?
be
Like
fun.
there's so much that, like, because I think some people are worried that free roam is just that, it's free roam, and I don't think, like, they showed us that big Donkey Kong.
I
That
think that's a
seems
boss.
that seems like something you'd fight. Like
That
it
seems like a
seems,
boss, no doubt.
yeah. And so, like, I don't think I don't I don't think Nintendo is limiting themselves to anything when it comes to this game. I think they are. I think they're already showing us how much they're thinking outside the box with, like, there's plenty of levels that are like point A to point B instead of just laps. We've kind of seen that already. But I think with those I'm wondering if, like, I don't know. I don't know. Like, can you get multiple people in the helicopter and you got people that are just controlling, like, shooting shells or something,
Right, and,
like,
like, what does the helicopter do? Like, if you get into the helicopter, like, if you're in a competitive race and you enter into it on a track,
hmm
does it fly you somewhere real fast and then drop you
yeah.
in front of
And,
everyone?
and
Like, if you're running a marathon and you get into a taxi
right.
and someone drops you off towards the next lap or something, it's like, is that what it is? It seems like it could be.
I mean, it's similar to the bullet bill
Exactly.
if that's the case, but like, what if you need to ram that into a big boss because you need more weight.
Yeah, that
You
could be
have
too.
you have more shields, like I don't know. And I mean, the other thing is too, I don't think we've seen all the items. I think the items are going to I think this is going to be like a Fortnite Call of Duty scenario where it's like we might see items get retired for a season and then potentially come back. They've got the ice
Oh,
flower and the
that'd be
fire
cool.
flower,
Yeah.
but they're almost identical. The ice just hits and makes you spin, and the fire just hits and makes you spin. There's like no, there's not a lot that they do there. So um I think that they're going to truly surprise us with this game. And the rumors are, the leaks, if you will, is that after this direct, it's gonna make sense why this game is $80.
Yeah, that's what I keep hearing too, and I believe that. Look, when it was announced what the price was, the first thing I was saying is that, guys, look, there's a reason they announced at the Switch 2 Direct that there will be a Direct for Mario Kart.
Yeah.
They told us at the Direct. That is not like Nintendo. They would announce that later or in a tweet. So the fact that they told us at the Direct was their way of saying, "Please trust me."
And not only that, but they showed a lot of content for the game at the direct and then said
Yeah,
there's another direct afterwards.
which should tell everyone there's a ton of stuff coming.
A ton of stuff. And I want to backtrack a little bit to what you were saying, like the achievements or unlockables.
Yeah.
Bro, if I do 10,000 drifts, mini turbos, super mini turbos, ultra mini turbos, I want a sticker with wheels and the flames coming off at that point,
Yeah.
when I hit those. I
Or
want that to be a
distance.
yeah, distance traveled. Like I want to see some like some badges of honor, if you will, for
Y
the because this will literally be my main game
Yeah,
for
and
quite
it can.
some time. Like,
It's set up to be your main game better than any Mario Kart has ever before,
mhm,
'cause I do think it's just gonna be chock full of content and constantly adding new content throughout
yeah,
the lifespan. Like, this will be the ultimate evergreen because they're actually targeting it as an evergreen, as opposed to last gen where it was a surprise evergreen title, and they're like,
right,
"Oh my god,
yeah,
we need to do this next time," but, like, plan it out,
yeah, and
capitalize.
they've learned a lot from games like Smash and Splatoon, how excited people get over a drip feed of content. Like they I hope they do some things really right. And what I mean by that is like right now in Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, I have a tournament that I race all the time. An unlimited number of people can jump in, and every 4 races we get shuffled. So on the nights that we have 60 people racing, it gives plenty of people a chance to jump in and play. Imagine Knockout Tour, but I have a code for my Knockout Tour tournament. Unlimited number of people join. And maybe it sets it up tournament style to where like every time you win, you get like you start tracking your points this way and you just get dumped back into as soon as you get knocked out, you're right back into another race with community members and
Yeah,
you never stop racing. So many people can jump in and play and it like if you don't want to spectate, I totally get it. Get right back into the races.
yeah,
Like, I mean, it's just like when you play Fortnite, right? You jump in, if you get knocked out, you jump back into the next game. Like that's just the way you do it. Like the more community focused they are, I hope there's tournaments of some kind that are just like regularly happening. And I mean, they already do it with 8 Deluxe,
Yeah.
but then to have like even a participation trophy, if you will, or something like just some cool things that you unlock from being in those tournaments, kind of like what you were saying with Gran Turismo, where it was like, it's Nintendo. What a lot of people may not realize is Nintendo is very into the esports scene, especially in schools. And Mario Kart, Splatoon, and Smash all have world championships every year. And I mean, my one of my icons on my Switch is from participating in the Mario Kart 8 championship. And the only way you could get that was from jumping in and playing. And so anything like
It's
that, I
cool.
feel is just such a win. It's just such a win. So I'm beyond hyped for this direct. I think we're gonna honestly be so shocked that we're probably gonna be throwing our money at Nintendo at this point because like there's just gonna be so much. Uh
I think so too. I really do.
and on top of just achievements and having like cool things unlocked for playing long periods of time, I just want this game to be chocked full of unlockables. Like I didn't see my pipe frame in the selection that you were when you were picking your cart, but it's
I
in the
didn't see
game.
it. I like the
I
pipe frame.
I saw it and like I've seen characters using it in the direct. Like
Yeah.
Nabbit was driving it, right? And it has the smaller wheels on the front and the bigger wheels in the back, just like the box art from Super Mario Kart. So, I'm just the more the like this conversation alone has got my hype level so high. Like, can it be the 17th already? I'm ready for
I
this
know,
direct.
man. Thankfully, I mean, yeah, I'm just so glad it's this week, but like June 5th cannot come sooner. I just cannot wait. And my schedule is just so action packed
Mhm.
from my here to then, thankfully. Like I'm so glad that it's just going to be super busy because I want this time to just fly by as quickly as possible. You know how that is.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's very special. Yeah, I do expect that story mode, man. I think we might have bosses. I really do. I think that DK looks like one. I think just the stage itself is themed after the first level in Donkey Kong. That's what it is.
Yeah.
So it makes sense that that's the boss, you know, a Donkey Kong, a
Well, and
robot Donkey Kong.
think about the footage from the direct where they're out in the water and you can see like it looks like a giant blooper or a whale or something along those lines. Like
Yeah,
something there's something out there. Like they're they've got there's a lot of secrets. We saw somebody
tons.
somebody picked up like a peach coin
I did see that.
out in
That
the
that that was intriguing.
and it did nothing, right? It didn't, and then I think there's been pictures of the map that show different all the different characters' faces as if like, well, does that represent their little part of the world? And then,
Right.
as it expands, is there going to be like a little Kirby face on a Dreamland world? And you
Yeah,
know,
these are things that I'm thinking, like, as far as the title and how that plays into it, and that what we've seen, I feel like Nintendo might even say that at the direct that, you know, what you've seen, what we've shown you is just one of the many worlds.
mhm,
And then everyone's gonna be like, whoa, what? That's gonna be like one of the big, I think that'll be one of the big eye opening moments is that they'll say that. But hopefully they talk a lot about unlockables. And again, there's achievements in there. It's just too, it's just what are they gonna do? What are we gonna get? How's it gonna work?
yeah,
But it seems like to me the first party stuff is going to have in-game achievement system with the medals. The fact that both Zeldas and the Switch 2 Tour have it,
yeah,
why of course Mario Kart's gonna have it.
sure.
Has to. You can't not let it have it. So
Well,
there's a lot. This is gonna go deep.
I wonder if that map is like the first continent.
Yeah. Doesn't
And
that make
if
sense?
if eventually the map rotates like a planet, like a world,
Yeah.
and it just keeps getting fuller and fuller, and I don't know. So
I don't think you're
uh,
far off at all. I don't think either of us are far off on this. I think it's going to go deep and it's going to be a lot more than anyone thought.
yeah,
And again, this whole price tag thing is going to fade into obscurity, and that anyone still saying things on the internet about the price tag are going to look silly. And
yeah, yeah. No doubt, no doubt. Well, Mr. Thunderstash, where can people connect with you?
yeah, so you guys can find me on YouTube at Thunder Stash Gaming. And I review new and retro games for all consoles. So PlayStation, Xbox, Switch, PC. Obviously, we'll be getting Switch 2 on day one and reviewing everything really, as much as possible. And I also review retro games. So I've been gaming my whole life. I'm an 80s kid, so I started with the NES. Sometimes I'll review old stuff. My last retro review was Donkey Kong Country 2. I hadn't played it actually for like about 30 years. I
Wow,
played it when it came out and then hadn't played it again. So it felt brand new again. I'll say that. So that was very nice. So yeah, that's what I do. And then we have the podcast Wednesday nights, the Nintendo Bite podcast that you can find on my channel. Do that with Nintendo Prime and Game Bird. Josh is obviously on sometimes as our guest as well. I'm sure you'll be on to talk Mario Kart, no
can't
doubt,
wait.
and everything else, Metroid. So
Oh yeah,
yeah, and then on Twitter you can find me. It's Thunderstash_YT. I'm on all the other ones too as Thunderstash Gaming, but Twitter is where I chat with everyone. I'm active. Actually have some conversations with people on Twitter.
love it,
Yeah.
love it. All right, guys. Well, thank you so much for watching and or listening. This is a brand new YouTube channel, so make sure to hit that like and subscribe button if you are if you're just finding this for the first time, and we'll see you in the next one.